Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Revolution Sunday live Facebook session with Christopher Voncujovi. Today we have a couple questions that we'd like to ask him that we've gotten from people here and there, and so we're gonna jump right to it. Hello, Papa.
Hello, everybody. How are you today?
Good. Okay, so one of the questions today, it's going to be less about a lot of question and answering and more in terms of kind of listening to your story, Papa, about your different experiences with Voodoo. So I want to start with how, what can you tell us a little bit about your first experience with Voodoo and how old you were, what was the context, and or like with any kind of spirits, let's say, your first spiritual experience?
Okay, I would say that my first experience with Voodoo was very way back when I was a kid, because my mother and my aunties, as I said the other day, were all traditional priests. My uncles were traditional priests, and they were traditional priests. My aunties were priestesses and all this, and so my grandmother was on my maternal side, and my grandfather on my maternal side were all traditional priests, kind of. Not even, maybe they were not doing it as a profession, or they were not doing it as what do you call it? They weren't doing it as a business, but they were just doing it as how it is. It's because Voodoo in every community is a way of life, and there's usually someone who is in charge or who has this knowledge, and others go to him or to her when they are in need of spiritual guidance and help. So as far as I can remember, my mother had taken me to many places when I was a child. So, but then my real first experience on my own, which I could remember very much, was maybe I was about 6 or 7 years old. And I went to my mother's uncle's farm. It was somewhere far away in the Volta region. And then I think I was going to toilet. I was going to go to toilet because in the village, it's a cocoa plantation. So my mother was there, and I went there to stay with her for a short time. And I was going to go to a toilet. We have this pit toilet, which is the normal toilet in the bush, pit toilet. So I was on the toilet, and then I saw this man, like a short man, riding on an animal which has tusk. So a child, I thought that was an elephant. So I saw this short man riding on this short elephant and was passing. At that time, I thought it was an elephant. I grew up to understand that that was the wild boar or the bush pig, as most people call it. So that was my first experience, and I wasn't scared, and I was just looking at it, and it was passing me by, and I tried to chase it, but then I couldn't. It just vanished from my face. I tried to go around and cross it from another part of the road, which I think that road leads to there, but I couldn't find it. So that was my first real personal experience with the unseen spirits, which manifested itself to me.
So now that you, I guess, like upon reflection, that you found out that, okay, that was not an elephant, but what do you make of the being that was riding the elephant now that you look back at it?
Because the being, of course, I grew up to understand also that there were beings that were between human and human as well as spirit, which we call the dwarfs in Ewe, or dwarfs in the world, and we call it in Ewe Aziza or Adiekwe in Ewe, central Ewe, we call it Adiekwe. So I have knowledge of that because there was one of my auntie who had a shrine of the Aziza also. Would I call her auntie? Yeah, my mother's or grandmother who had a shrine of dwarfs, and people consulted her on that too. So I have a knowledge of that. But what I was seeing that day it did not occur to me was a dwarf, because it just came and was passing by, didn't talk to me, didn't interact or anything with me. It was just passing by, but I saw it and I was wondering, what is this? But not scary. So I tried to chase it to really make sure what it is. I was as young as 6 or 7 years old. So that was my this. And then later, I never told anybody. It was when I grew up before where I started discussing this with people. And then also when I entered into shrines that they have dwarfs, that's when I realized that, oh, so those were dwarfs. Or that what I saw was a dwarf, and dwarfs ride on wild pigs. So that's what I was calling in my childhood as an elephant, was actually a wild pig or boar, because I thought, because of the tusk, I thought it was an elephant. So that was my first personal experience with the invisible world that manifested in the visible world.
It's also funny that in the zodiac you're also a wild boar,
yeah,
right?
in my Chinese zodiac, I am also a wild boar. I am myself. I am a
You and
pig.
Senna.
I'm a pig. Yes, I'm a pig, and I think Kofi also is a pig.
Senna also.
So yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
pig. Senna is pig. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah.
Well, just okay. Maybe if you could just share another experience. I know one of your, you once told us about your story in Philippines when you were on a boat with Tara and everybody, and then it was like a whole situation. Can you share that story with us?
That story was I think the video is still there. I gave it to Tara last time, and they want to convert it into digital. That's what had happened. I mean, after I shot the video, I went to holiday at an island in Philippines called Coco Beach. Coco Beach, and I took Tara, Christopher Jr., Tara's mother, and Tara's grandfather, plus myself. We were 5 people. So it's an island. It's a very exclusive island, and I was the only black man at that time on that island during the this, because it was a rich people's place to come for holiday. So we also went on a holiday to the island, and the day we were living was Tara was 6 years old. Was her birthday. But then the night before, we had a small party for her. There was an in-house band. Everything was a very beautiful island. I believe it's still there, somewhere in Batangas or whatever. I can't remember. But it's called Coco Beach. So we were in a boat, about 16 or 17 people. Because the island has no road access. It's only boat that takes you in and brings you back. So you go in, they receive you, they give you your hotel room, which is all made naturally with bamboo, the beds and everything. I mean, it's a really beautiful place to have a holiday. So we went there, and then we were taken care of. So after 1 week, because we booked for 1 week, and after the week, we were coming back to Manila. So in the middle of the sea, I don't know whether because the boat was speeding, it's an engine boat, it was speeding or whatever.
About how many people would you say?
It was about 16, 17 people who were on the boat. Yeah. But then I was the only black man. So there were a lot of white people from Europe and all over, Americans and all that, because it was a holiday island. So we were coming. Then in the middle of the sea, somewhere in the middle of the sea, it was blue sea. All of a sudden, the wind just carried this boat as one side, like tilting it. And a lot of everybody started to stand, because we weren't wearing life vests. They didn't give us life vests because I think it's a normal thing. They know there's nothing will happen. But all of a sudden, this happened, and I realized that Tara's mother, she's a very good swimmer. So Tara's mother grabbed Tara's hand. The grandfather carried Chris, I was left, in that family, I was left alone. Everybody, probably people from the Europeans and everybody know how to swim. I don't know, I'm from the village. I don't know how to swim. We know how to run. That's what we learn. We are from village, we are not the swimmers. Those who are from the seaside know how to swim, but where I was born, there was no sea. Even though there was a big water river, but we did never really go closer to it. So all that I could do is I have to call on my spirits that are my guides, and I call upon Akain. Akain is a spirit that had been with me for a very, very long time, and I go everywhere with it actually. So I call upon Akain, and I had it in my bag. I always have it with me in my shoulder bag. So I just call upon Akain, and then I call his name that he should help me. And all of a sudden, the boat didn't go down, people didn't slide down, and as if something came up out of the sea and just held the boat for a while, and then slowly place it back on the ocean. So at that point, I took Akain out from my bag because it's like a credit card. Don't leave home without it. So I took my Akain out of the bag like that, from my bag, and then this is Akain. Yeah, it's the same spirit I showed you guys last week. It's been my father, brother, friend, and a spirit that I had actually counted on all these years. It's been with me for many, many years, long before my son Senna was born. So I called upon Akain, and then Akain responded to me by helping me, and then I opened when the boat became quiet, or the sea became quieter, so I went and opened the oil, then I poured the oil into the sea, and then from that time we sailed all through until we got to the other end with no other incident again. And a lot of people started crying because we saw our death. Everybody saw. Then later, Tara's mother was asking me, who came out of the sea and held the boat? And I said, I don't know, but I just called on my spirits to protect me. Those of you who have watched Sinbad, the movie Sinbad, that children's movie Sinbad, where certain spirits come out of the sea, either to protect the boat or carry the boat, or this. It's those who watch Sinbad. It was kind of that kind of story. It was that kind of story. So energies and spirits, it depends on how close they are with you. You call upon them, they will respond because they have your future in their hands. They know what they want you to do for the world, so they will not let you be destroyed by simple mistakes of others. So when you call upon them, they should respond, and mine did responded very properly at my call.
Okay, thank you. Another question we have here is the role of dreams in teaching in Voodoo or learning, I guess. Like to what extent can you say your dreams can teach you, and how do you or what are ways, because I know a lot of times for me, even when I have a dream, I almost forget immediately. But then some people, they can engage more deeply with their dreams. And so can you just quickly speak on how the role dreams plays in your learning in Voodoo?
It's not every dream that you dream that is spiritual. Some dreams are just dreams, but because of the association you have during the daytime, or the activities that you have gotten yourself into during the daytime, they continue playing in your sleep and in your dream, because the dreams are coming from the subconscious mind, which records everything that we have done in the present, the past, which will also become our future. So these things are stored in your subconscious mind, and at certain times, or very important times, most of the time when you are in the most difficult situations, or you are strongly eager to know something, or you are in a very hard time, then your subconscious mind opens and gives you some guidance or tutorial on what to do to avoid or to overcome the situations you are in. So most people will realize, even if they dream and they cannot remember their dreams, but once in a while, certain kind of dreams will come and repeat themselves and then go, or maybe they come often. Those kind of dreams are teaching you or reminding you or cautioning you to be able to take a look at certain things. So some of the dreams will come to teach you in most cases, but then if you are not aware, just like our instincts, the dream will give you an information to do certain things. If you don't follow it, of course it will not, you will not see the results. But sometimes they even warn you, and if you don't follow the warning and you just go through, what happens is that then the things that they have taught you in the dream may occur. Because dream, most of the time, I would say, is on the psychic plane. Because the physical body is lying down, but the mind or the soul is traveling through different spaces and time zones, while your body is unconscious on your bed. Your subconscious mind is very busy working. So this for dream to teach you. How can I put it? Dreams teach you sometimes, but not every dream that you have is directly teaching you. But when you watch your dreams, you must also know yourself. When you dream, does it come true, or it's just dream? So when you watch yourself, then you will know if your dreams come and those dreams manifest on the material or physical plane, then you know your dreams are lessons from the psychic world to you, or from the spirit world to you. So dreams teach, but not every dream that you dream is teaching you. Some may be because of the activities that you have taken in the day, or you get yourself involved in during the day. That's why when you go into sleep, then it continues.
Okay, thank you. You said even last night, you said, or was it 2 days ago? You said
no,
Togbe
it was
Tuji.
just last night before today a day broke and Togbe Tuji came into my day. He died about 12 years ago, or 11 years ago. And we are still, he's my father, my teacher, my friend, who has taught me so many things. And he was teaching me yesterday about voodoo, explaining to me that there are voodoos that can, every voodoo has what it can do. So when you are given an assignment to a particular voodoo and it is not able to accomplish it, I should understand that not everything that you give to a voodoo that it can accomplish. Because I recently have been complaining within myself that why is it that I have done this work for this person and the person is not getting the result? Why is it that this I've done this and the person is not getting the result? It should, he should or she should get the result. So my thoughts were, bothering me. Why did I ask the Voodoo to do this and he hasn't done? So the dream that I had last night was telling me, Togbe Tuji came and was instructing me that not a Voodoo cannot accomplish everything, because each Voodoo has its own assignments and duties and works to do. So just like human beings, you have a mason, you have a mechanic, you have a carpenter, you have other things, and everybody is a specialist in his or her own way. You have nurses. Yes, a nurse may be someone who works at the hospital, but a nurse is not a doctor. A nurse is not a doctor. But then she can perform certain duties. But then when you get to certain things, certain assignments, and you need a doctor. to perform that assignment. So he was just explaining to me that when you want to give an assignment to a voodoo, you must know whether that voodoo is capable of doing that work. And if that voodoo is capable of doing that work, or then you know it, he or she can accomplish it. So it is not every kind of work you give to a voodoo and a voodoo will do. You must know which voodoo does what, and then you give that kind of assignment to, because there are some voodoos who are mainly for love affairs. There are some voodoos that are mainly for war. There are voodoos that are mainly for business. So a voodoo that is for war, you can't give a business assignment to it to accomplish. It won't. Yes, it can protect you and do everything about you to make sure you are protected. But if you ask it to go and do for business and bring the market and all this, he may not be able to do it because that's not his or her field. So for that, that was what Toby was explaining to me in the dream yesterday, because it has been a question that has been bothering me for a while now. Of course, he taught me so many things about these things, but as time goes on, I'm losing track of so many things that he taught me. So maybe the voodoo that I was supposed to use for the work, I felt that no, I didn't. I can use another one. And when I use what I used, it's not working probably. That's why I kept complaining that why should I do this for long and I'm not getting results, and it worries me. So then he came in my dream last night to tell me that voodoo cannot just accomplish everything. You must know what assignment to give what voodoo. Each voodoo has its own speciality and place and what to do. So I should look at it from that angle and not like blaming the voodoo for not working, because I give it a task that is not in its field. Yeah, so that's what the dreams sometimes tell you. But then you must study yourself and know what is a real dream, and also what is just
another dream.
Yeah, standard and a Bible. Because I also had a dream about my show that is coming next week Saturday, and in that I need tickets to get tickets for people to I mean like complimentary tickets for some people. I asked the company that is promoting the show to give me some few tickets so that I can give to some people who are close to me, they want to come and watch. So they told me they are preparing it. But then in my dream last time, it was like they were giving me the tickets to give, and then, but then they didn't give them all to me at one time. They give me one, and then if the person who is coming, then they give to the person. It's like, it wasn't like in a bulk and given to me. Then we were going for the show, and I got to a place and I wanted to jump, and when I realized where I was going to jump from, it was very deep, like I was jumping from a very tall building. And then I said, no, if I should jump now and break my legs, I won't be able to do the show, so I have to pass another way. So that is also cautioning me that I should be careful. The days are so close. I shouldn't do anything extra in order to get myself injured or put myself in a position whereby the day will come and I will not be able to go and perform, because I will disappoint a lot of people.
Okay.
Thank you. The questions
so now we are having a few questions coming in from
the
people who are watching today. So let me just start with one of the first ones we got here. Is asking I guess he's referring to Eche. Rashespu Akeru is asking that Eche was displaying once the keys that he has against knives and razors. Does that person have to be a priest?
No. You don't have to be a priest, but you have to be initiated into. It's not everybody who is practicing voodoo is a priest. Everybody should understand that. Because if everybody who is practicing voodoo is a priest, then the whole every land will be priests. A land of priests. We are not the Levites in Israel. No, it is not true. You don't have to be a priest to practice voodoo. You are initiated into a voodoo, and they teach you how to relate to that voodoo. That's what it is. But that doesn't make you a priest. And so you don't go jumping and telling people because you have been initiated into one voodoo and tell people I'm now a voodoo priest and I am going to teach you how to. No. To become a priest, you have other disciplines to undergo that will qualify you. There's so many other initiations, initiation of priesthood and all other things before you can be a priest. The same thing applies in Afa, Eve Afa. Before you can be called a Bokor, you must undergo the training. You can have Afa given to you, but that doesn't make you a Bokor.
Really?
Yes. That doesn't make you a Bokor.
Even if you have Afa?
Yes. A lot of people have Afa, but they are not Bokor.
So what makes a Bokor?
You have to really be trained to become a Bokor so that you can be able to cast the oracle and be able to explain it. You can get Afa and you don't know how to explain anything about it. That doesn't make you a Bokor.
So is it your ability to explain what the...
No, the training that they will give you to make you a Bokor or a priest. They will give you extra. If you want to be a priest, a lot of people who are just businessmen, they want to know about their Afa poly or their destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So they take Afa and Afa guides them and say, okay, you don't eat plantain, and don't be in the night. Mm-hmm. Don't do this thing. Try to be honest with your life. Mm-hmm. And all kind of things. And don't sleep on the normal floor by putting mats down. You should sleep on a bed. They will give you those guidelines so that you will use that to continue and rule your life, so that your life will be the path of your life path will be fine, will be nice. But that does not make you into a Bokor. If you want to become a Bokor, you must be trained. A lot of people, especially a lot of people in the diaspora, they come to Africa, they take one initiation, and then they go back to the diaspora. They present themselves as priests, and they don't know anything, but they won't accept it. People have to be trained in. People who have shrines, small shrines in Voodoo, but they don't call themselves Voodoo priests. You know, like Eche has his own shrine, but he doesn't call himself a priest. He practices his own things, and then if people come to him to pray for them, he will pray for them. He will pray to his spirits for them. But then if he has to start initiating people, he must become a priest to be able to initiate other people.
So a priest is someone who has been given the training and is able to initiate others?
Yes. Who has been given a proper training and the knowledge of the oracle, the knowledge of the act of Voodoo, to be able to know what is it. Because before you become a priest, sometimes they have to open your ears. They have to open your ears, they have to open your eyes so that you can hear the Voodoo and you can also see things and see the aura of people and be able to tell what is going on. But then you can't just get the initiation into Afa and then call yourself a Bokor or an Afa priest. You need to be trained properly. And then there are so many other initiations they will do for you if you want to be a teacher or a priest. So it is not just by getting initiated into one Voodoo then you call yourself a priest or a priestess. No, but a lot of people are making that mistake.
And what would be the word in Ewe would be Huno?
Huno is someone who is in charge of who is God in Ewe. And unfortunately or incidentally or coincidentally, it is the name of God in the Hebrew language too. That is the deity himself. Is in the 6 and 7 books of Moses. That God, the name God is It is not Yahweh. It is not Jehovah. It is not all these plenty things. The name of the deity itself is So in every is God, because every human being, every animal has that which is the breath or the spirit inside you. So when you are in charge, some person who can interpret and then teach others and guide others become no. Person who is in charge of no.
Okay.
That is how the word come about. So when people in Haiti say, "Oh, I have been initiated into Uga," what is Uga? I mean, to them it's something because they say, "I have been initiated as Uga." No. In Ewe, the word is Hunga or Hunoga. But because of the French word, you remove the H when H starts the word. Instead of them pronouncing it the Ewe way, they are pronouncing it in the French way by calling it Uga. It's not Uga, it's Hunga. Hunoga. So in Haiti, the people say, "I am Uga, I have been initiated into Uga." What is Uga? If you have been initiated into Hun, and then with time you become Huno, and then when you Huno graduates from just being ordinary Huno, means it has got more spirits or voodoo, not one or two voodoo, and also is helping the community and become, automatically they will call you Hunoga or Hunga. So no one is initiated directly into Hunga. No, it's not right.
So is it possible at all to be initiated, or it's not? What is Hun? Is it a voodoo or is it?
Means voodoo God. Mean when you breathe. That's why in Ewe they say that don't let people be pouring the energy of upon you. Don't make people sad. Don't try to create a problem where every time somebody thinks about it, the person says, because you have offended the person, but the person has nothing to do to face you directly. He will just sit down and say, means he's calling God on you all the time. He's invoking the Spirit of God upon you. That's the word in Ewe. So is God. That's the real word for God in Ewe. It's not Mau and all these things. Mau only is an adjective that is trying to qualify what God is, that which is above, that which is greatest. Emaiwu, Mau, Emaiwu, the one which is above all. So when somebody says the name of God is Mau, it's not real. God has his name. And it has a name in everybody's language.
And Ewe is
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is automatic. Even the dog will say because there's a spirit also inside the dog, which is the breath of life, which is the when the dog is sleeping, you hear always. A goat is the same. All animals, all living things have breath. So God is in Ewe. That's why we call someone who is in charge of called Huma. And when you graduated after many practices and then you have graduated or community has placed you above, then they can call you Huga or Hunoga. That's what the Ewe word is. So if you are in a French country and you remove the H from the and you call it I mean, I don't know.
Okay, thank you for that. Now we have a guy. Well, Nibote from Nungwa is asking, how can I pour libation, water or liquor, which is better?
Whichever you can get your hands on, that is okay. Because the libation pouring is you calling upon your ancestors to listen to you and paying homage and respecting their existence. That because of them you are here. So if you decide to pour liquor, you can. If you want to pour water, you can. Whatever you can grab, you can. A lot of people don't drink liquor, so they may not want to use liquor to pour libation. You can also make jachi, which is the corn flour that we use to make into water and pour. And then people have different ways, but libation pouring is liquid. But we don't use oil. I mean, I have not used oil before, and I have not heard anybody using oil to pour libation. But oil can be poured on people's head when they are being initiated.
Or even to Voodoo's like at the end to make things cool and smoother. That's when you're like praying.
Yes,
to
yes,
pray
yes.
with.
Okay, yes, okay. You are right. So if we do with that is mainly for afa. You pour oil on legba and also on apeli and then seregaji and aflagati. You pour oil so that it smooths it. So it's also part of libation. And before the oil, you will have to pour the water or liquor, and then after that you tell them the liquor is for enemies and oil is to smoothen things. Because in voodoo, every voodoo, we normally use water and liquor. We pour liquor first. When you that is voodoo, I'm not talking about afa. People should know the difference because people don't know so much difference between afa and voodoo. In voodoo, you pour liquor, and then you tell the spirit that liquor is for the enemies of you, people who are against you, the unseen and seen ones. So they should drink the liquor and go and face such people and use that liquor to get angry and open your doors from those who are closing the doors. And then you pour water after the liquor, saying that this one, the water is for yourself and the people who love you, that water cools down anything that is burning, fire, anything that is hot, water cools it down. So you are pouring water to cool down and make that water good and peace come to you. It should be yours. Yours should be water, because water cools things down. But the liquor is for the enemy or your own opponent. So you can use both at the same time, because most of the time when we pray with liquor, we pray with water.
Okay.
If that makes sense, I don't know.
I think what we should do is probably make a quick, because a lot of people usually ask, how can we pray? How can we pour libation? So if we can make a quick video.
After this, I will make a video.
Just
today.
like a video about libation. That's very quick.
We have had so many.
No, we had so many, but we haven't had one exclusively saying this is how you do it.
Okay,
if you want to pray
maybe
to ancestors,
have
your left
one
hand.
of these days, if not today, we'll do a
Start trying to make a video.
How to pray. But then everybody, when you are pouring libation, everyone has their ancestors and spirits. Spirits are different from ancestors. This is what people don't know. People think that if you have a voodoo like Akain, like this, which is in this bag, Akain is not called an ancestor. He is a spirit. He is a voodoo. Maybe it's the same thing though, called Orishas. I don't know. But this is a voodoo and it's a spirit. Akain is not an ancestor. An ancestor are people whose bloodline, whose DNA, or the people who have brought you up, or whose generation you are continuing. Those are the people you call ancestors. So if you are praying to ancestor, it's different from praying to a voodoo. So when you are praying to ancestors, you must mention the name of the people you can remember who had passed on. The people who you can remember who had passed on. Those are the names that you use in pouring libation. And then when you have been initiated into a particular voodoo or spirit, you will also pray with their incantation. The incantation of that particular voodoo that you have been initiated into, you mention their name and then pour, like when we talk about Jokpata, those who have been initiated into Jokpata, when we are praying to Jokpata, we call Jokpata's name Jokpata, Jomaku, Afokeno for the moju, Chime for the voodoo. Then you pour the libation, you come and take a drink. And when you are calling Akain, but you are Akain, when you are Akain, Ajavon Akain, Tronvo Akain, or come and have a drink. So an ancestor is totally different from a voodoo. So when we talk of ancestral worship, it is not only that voodoo that your ancestors have that you pray to. You pray to your ancestors who are the human beings who had started what had been started before you were born, and you are continuing. You also pray to the spirit that they had that has continued giving birth or continued leading the family, and then also the people who did the work and who continue to do the work, and they are no more, and they are in the spirit world. Those are the ancestors. So ancestors are different from them, but then they all mix together because it is a human being who has made a voodoo or has gotten a voodoo that has saved the family or a situation. So now you call that voodoo also for and thank it for the work it's doing in the family, and you also call the person who has brought that voodoo into the family to work. So because he and his voodoo work together.
Ah, okay. All right, thank you for that. Now we have some guy called Mean Angel.
Mean Angel.
That's
yes.
the name. And he wants to know, it sounds quite specific, but what if he wants to ask if Nana Jaba and Chigali are war voodoos?
Tigari is a war voodoo. Nana Jaba is from where? I don't know about Nana Jaba because the spirits that I talk about are spirits that I know. Spirits that I don't work with, I don't know about them. And there are Tigali. I work with Tigali because Tigali is part of my Jopata. So I work with Tigali, so I know about Tigali. But Nana Jaba, if he can be specific, where does it come from?
Or where did he hear about it?
I just heard about it because people have a lot of things like there is a spirit people call Nana Bruku. Nana Bruku, and they say it came from Togo. Some people say it came from Nigeria, wherever it came from, I don't know. But then it is there. I have heard because my student Jaha Cummings also talked about it. But I have personally not dealt with Nana Bruku, so I don't know. But I know about Nana Zugu, which I had worked with some time. But Nana Bruku, I don't know. And then this Nana Jaba. It may be from the northern side, or from Mali, or from Burkina Faso, or wherever. But then within the Ebe, Tigari, we have the counterpart of Tigari. We have Akain is also indirectly part of Tigari. But then we have Jebum. Jebum, or people call it Jamboni, which is also the female aspect of some energies in Tigray. So, but I don't know about Jaba. But then we call the mirror Kofito Jabaku. That's the name of the mirror, Kofito Jabaku, or we call it sometimes Abochi. So, but then the Jaba itself as a spirit, I'm not very much familiar with it. But then that doesn't mean it does not exist. But people who know it will
can speak more to it.
More to it than me.
Okay. Someone is asking, and I guess we kind of touched on this. They ask, can I pour libation in a room? The answer is yes.
You can pour libation anywhere that you want. It does not matter, even if you are on the 7th floor or the 100th floor, you can pour libation because wherever you are, your ancestors are with you, your spirits are with you. I was just sharing a story about me being on this ocean in a boat when I had to call my spirit to come, and it came even though I was on the ocean. I was inside a boat, and my calling it responded, and I pour libation by pouring its oil into the sea so that the sea can calm down, so that we can sail smoothly to the other side of the world.
Oh, we have Edward Craig tuned in again.
Hey, Baba Craig.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, he just tuned in right
now.
Yes. Okay, so we have someone asking here. We have someone asking. What's this? Was it always the system to initiate before someone can practice, I guess?
No, you can practice without initiation, but what are you practicing? It will just be a hearsay, or you are following what others are doing. But if you really want to have the real effect of, if you want to have the real effect of spirit world or the psychic world, you need to be initiated to know exactly. Because spirituality is not religion. People should understand that spirituality is not a religion. But even in religion, you must be baptized.
It depends on which religion.
Oh yeah, every religion they will baptize you somehow.
Some form of
initiation. Some form of initiation, some form of introduction to. When we were children, we were baptized by the Christian church, and we pour water on our head and we become Christian, isn't it? So if you have not been introduced into, and okay, that is one, they pour water on your head and you become Christian. And then there were others where they will have to bury you inside water so that they say you have been born again. You have been born again, so you'll be put into water and brought out. So it's also an initiation. But Voodoo and Afa initiations are very practical, that within the time that you have been initiated, you should be able to feel the energy. You must be able to feel the energy. You don't just get initiation and then it is just like you walk away without knowing what you have gotten into. Initiation must give you a physical and a spiritual feeling that something has taken place. It shouldn't just be, okay, I've been initiated just because you think that you have been initiated. It must have a physical effect on you. And if you look at our videos on YouTube and everything, the initiations that we do, the energy must come and people must feel it. Then you know that something has been passed on to you that will be your guide and then teach you and protect you on your spiritual journey. You don't just jump into doing things you don't know anything about.
Okay, thank you. So now we have a question from Lucretia Parry, Washington. She says she lives in the US, but she wants to know how she can move forward with rendering our services here in Ghana. So can you speak to how we can work with people outside of the country?
What we do at the Afrikan Magick Temple is when people wanted help from us, the first and foremost is we do a reading for you. The reading is to know what is in your path, the unseen and the seen, the invisible and the visible. So the initial thing we ask you is to send us $150. Then we will call you after we got the money, and we will ask you to speak on the money directly by yourself. Whatever problems you are having, but then it is not for us to hear or to know what is going on. We want the oracle to go around what you are speaking on the money. The oracle will go around you, come to wherever you are, pick all the informations and come back to us and tell us this is what is happening to this particular person. When we get all the information, we will break it down to you, and then we will now ask you to tell us what was your reason why you wanted to do a reading. And most of the time, it is what we have found out is what you will say. Because if the spirit is real, it should be able to tell exactly what your problem is. You don't need to tell us physically. We will find it out. And then the spirit will also give us guidelines how to guide you and tell you the things to do to change the situation in which you are. And those who are physical will come down and they can be in front of us, and we do the reading after they speak on their money, and then we will do the reading, and then they ask questions. And even though you are in a distance from or far from us, because we use the WhatsApp, you can ask questions while we are doing, after we explain everything, then we are doing the reading. You ask questions about whatever you want to know, which is not very clear. So no matter where you are in the world, we are at your service.
Okay, thank you. Someone says the volume. I think we've been having some troubles with the volume today, so
Is it
apologies.
mine, or is it the phone?
I think it's my phone because I've been setting it down on this makeshift stand. So, but then in any case, we'll save it, and so if people are not able to hear, maybe they can hear it better when we put it back up. Someone say, what causes ancestors to stop communicating, and how can you get them to start again?
Okay, for the ancestor to stop communicating with you, you might have done a mistake that they did not like.
Mm-hmm. Speak a bit louder.
Oh, for me, I think I'm speaking loudly.
I think so too, but that's what they're saying. So
okay, maybe your volume is not good. For a person, for the ancestor to stop communicating with you, is probably they had told you to do something that you didn't do, or you are making certain mistakes in your life that they do not like. Because when you are into voodoo, there are rules and regulations. When you are going to the ancestors or doing ancestral practices or worship, also there are rules and regulations. And if you start breaking those rules, then the ancestors will feel that you are not going to work with them and you are not listening to them. So there's no need to continue communicating with you.
So how dynamic are these rules? Would you say, like these rules that you say comes from the ancestors? How do these rules change over time, or have they been rules that have been there from time?
They are mostly natural rules.
What is that?
Don't steal. Don't betray your friend. Don't bear false witness. Don't take your brother's wife. These are natural rules. It's not. It's a rules of nature. It's not somebody has written them down. Because if they steal your thing, are you going to be happy? So why go and steal somebody's thing?
So is it all about someone else's happiness, or is it?
It's not somebody's happiness. It's moral rules that you live in a community. We all live in a community, and you cannot be alone. So if you have a wife and someone come and take your wife away from you, will you be happy? No. So if you know you will not be
or
happy,
vice versa, I guess.
If you know you will not be happy, so then you too don't go taking somebody's wife or taking somebody's property, or don't go planning evil against other people that you want to kill someone, don't because you are jealous of their progress or not. It's just natural. But we are human beings. People do such things. People do it. People are envious of others for no reason. Those are the things that will make a voodoo not to respond to you, or ancestors not to respond to you. But then you are lucky when they just don't respond to you, because when there are certain things when you kept doing it and the voodoo says that you are not doing it well, they kill you.
So what kinds of ways can you fix if you do one of these natural laws? Let's say that you break some of them. What can you do to appease yourself or atone?
You have to atone for your own sin. If you realize that what you have done is not good, the best way is to go to an elderly person, tell them what you felt that you have done, and then the elderly person will help you to guide you. Probably they will call the person you have offended and tell the person that this person has done this against you and is feeling sorry. So in our culture, they don't just say, you feel sorry, so it means you're okay. They will punish you by either finding you that buy this thing, what we call in Ghana, pata. Pata means you have to compensate the other person for what you have done against them.
And who decides the amount of compensation? Is the
That's
elderly person?
Why the community is there. The community is there. They will deliberate. It's not just like one person will sit down. But sometimes one person can sit down and see that what you have done is not good. So this is what you go and buy 2 bottles of drink and come and beg this person.
But then in that process of compensation, let's say you buy a drink or a cow or something, is that enough to atone?
So long as the person you have offended has accepted what you have compensated with. It's not like going to offend Kojo and then you go to church and tell God that I am sorry, I have offended Kojo, so Kojo should be happy. Because Kojo didn't know you had gone to church to tell God that, our so-called God, that you are sorry. So why don't you walk to Kodu and tell Kodu you are sorry? Why go to church and say you have committed sin and be saying God should forgive you, and you believe that you have been forgiven?
Mm-hmm.
What about the person you have offended? Who will forgive? Who will make that person feel better? God?
So it's yourself and you having to deal with the different issues you've like created.
Yeah,
so is
whatever
it?
you have created,
So is
you
it
have
more
to deal with it directly?
right? And if you don't, then
It will be upon you
to
If you
fix
don't,
it
It is inside your heart,
in your
it is
conscience.
recorded in your consciousness, and you have it there, and it will worry you. And nature doesn't forgive. I'm sorry to say so. Nature doesn't forgive. You pay for whatever you have sown. You reap what you sow.
Right. So then you deal with the
So
consequence
when
of
you
your
know how to
actions.
live your life and well, you will not offend people unnecessarily. But I'm not saying that you should be a coward when people try to attack you and you just sit down and they attack you. That's not what I am saying. You also have the right to defend and protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
don't go destroying and getting angry and enviness towards others, jealousy towards others, just because you don't like what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Be conscious and be responsible for your actions.
Right. Okay. Let's see what other questions we have. We have a guy here saying, "Hi, this is Komian Signon. Komlan. Okay. What is the best way, or what's the best advice you'll give someone who, after receiving Afa and having at least one voodoo from all four elements of Huletaji? Huletaji. Yes, like what's your advice to someone who's received Afa and at least one of the Huletaji? What advice would you give?
What do you mean by Huletaji? Huletaji means God is on your head.
You say he's gotten one of the four elements.
Which are you should mention them, because the way I know Afa, I don't know about four elements or all these things. I want to know what he is talking about. My Afa that I got there, I don't know about four elements or five elements. I know that we have two hands of Ifa, the small one hand and double hand.
Okay.
People who are mostly women, they give them only one single hand, and then men take double hands. But then when a woman becomes very old and is no more menstruating, most of the time they can also take two hands. But even now we have come to the conclusion and understanding that even a woman who is menstruating can easily have the double hands if she wants to be a priestess.
Mm-hmm. So times are changing.
It has been like that, but people have really tried to sideline women from knowing this secret, because women are more are said to be more powerful than men. So men had always tried to avoid women from getting power. So they created all kind of rules and regulations and laws so that the women could not go forward. But it has not been like that. It is just man. I used to say man created God. So it is when I say man created God, I'm not talking about man as a
man, but like humans.
The human beings created God. So they make rules and regulations, and if it suits them, they apply them, and then they kind of sideline a portion of society according to their own selfish
patriarchal ways.
Yes.
Okay. So now we have a question from Kofi Sethson, who's asking, how can I restore abandoned gods in my family house?
How can you restore them? Are they there? The question is that if the gods are there, if they are not working anymore, then you have to call a priest that knows how to restore those spirits, because spirits are herbs. Voodoo is a herb. Voodoo is herbs. Combination of herbs to bring an energy together, to bring the spirit from the spirit world, is what voodoo is. So sometimes a spirit is not working anymore, or voodoo is not working anymore. The reason is that the herbs that had been used, the herbs that had been used are dead. It's been over so many years. It's just like a battery. If you don't keep charging it, it cannot continue working well. So when the battery goes down, you have to recharge it. So in Voodoo, from time to time, we recharge the herbs in the Voodoo, and then the Voodoo becomes alive again. So if you have a Voodoo in your family that is no more active, it doesn't die actually. That is no more active. The only thing is to find people who know how to fix it for you, and they have to find from the Voodoo. They have to find out from the Voodoo what herbs that were used in creating it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Voodoo should be able to communicate with a seer, a Bokor, or a Huno.
Mm-hmm.
That, oh, these were the herbs that were used in creating or bringing me together. And once they put them together, the Voodoo starts working.
Okay. So now we have some people want you to speak on the spirit Erzuli. I don't know, it's written Erzuli. I don't know about it. Can you give some insights on Erzuli Diila?
I don't know it, so there's nothing I can give. I talk about spirits that I know.
Yeah, so we don't know.
I don't know anything about Erzuli Diila. I've never heard it before, like until today, so I can't talk about what I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Someone was asking how close is Voodoo, Ifa, and Orisha?
In Ebe, we call spirit Voodoo. And I think, I'm not sure, that's why I say I think, Orisha is spirit in Yoruba. Orisha is spirit in Yoruba. So if the Ebes are calling their spirit Voodoo, maybe the Yorubas call their spirits Orisha. So what's the difference? There's no difference. It's only cultures are not the same, and languages are not the same, so they're different. That's the only thing I can say. And Afa is the Ifa of the Nigerians, and the Ebes call it Afa. Because the Ebe people probably, I believe strongly, they got Afa from the Yorubas. And getting Afa from the Yorubas, they have made Afa their own. And they don't call it Afa, they don't call it Ifa, they call it Afa. And then the explanations are in Ebe. But only that the Odus, the oracles fall, and the names are still called in Yoruba, like Bemeji, which is a Yoruba language. Meji, which means double. Ayeku, Oyeku, Meji. But then in Ebe, they try to change some of the Yoruba one, like we call the Bemeji Jongbe. Jongbe in Ebe. But then it is in Yoruba, it's Bemeji. But then, even if we are calling it Jongbe, the Be is still in that word. So somehow, it's the same.
But even Yoruba, I think they have one that's called a Jogbe, which is the first one. Yeah.
Jogbe, which is Bemeji.
Yeah.
Jogbe. So we will call it Jongbe. But then it's the same because the Yoruba, the Evis adopted the Afa from the Yorubas. And Afa is a pathfinder. It's a pathfinder because we use Afa to work Voodoo. When you want to know anything from a Voodoo, if you are not born a psychic and the spirits can talk to you directly, then you will use Afa to consult the Voodoo and know what they want and what should be done and how they should be treated. So for Ebes, Afa is a pathfinder. It's a divination tool to teach you about the Voodoo that you have and how to work with the Voodoo.
Okay.
Or to work with yourself.
Okay. Now we have a question from Christy Owens, who's asking, who do you petition for love and romance in Voodoo?
It depends whatever you have. There are so many thousands and millions of spirits in Voodoo. And that's why Voodoo is not a religion. It's a spirituality. There are certain Voodoos that nobody has ever heard about. But that doesn't mean they don't exist. And they have their own work. So it is not like a religion whereby they say you have to petition mother, Mary, mother of Jesus, for this, or you have, no. There are so many voodoos. Whichever voodoo is with you that deals with love, that's the one you petition.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess, let me see if there's any last questions here. I think we've covered most of them. So I guess I'll just switch over. So you have a magic show coming up one of these days. I think it's next week, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, and a couple people, I think, tend to mix up voodoo and magic quite a bit. Even actually in one of our comments, someone referred to the key where the person was dancing with the blades as magic, or performing magic. And so I wanted to quickly ask you if you could clarify some of the key differences between magic and voodoo, and how, I guess, maybe people misunderstand what they see out there.
To start with that, I will have to say what is magic and what is spirit. You know, long before man started this journey, there were natural things and natural energies, things are happening. And man could not replicate or duplicate or to make it. They were wonders. So as time go by, people became so clever to be able to continue repeating what people had seen. They have devised means and ways to put a trick into it so that others will continue believing. Others will continue believing what had happened naturally. Because, take for instance, if you are a priest, and there's a priest in this shrine who has extra sensory perception skills or talent or gift. The person can see you and tell you the food you have eaten today. Then this priest passed on, and another priest come. Or they just install a priest. They didn't really know whether he's having a psychic power or having a ESP or the sixth sense. And then this priest is expected to emulate what has passed in the past, or the priest that was alive in the past. So to continue, this is usually in religion. So the person has to do something to prove that what they are with is real. And people, as human as we are, we always wanted proofs. So that's how magic came all about. So magic is an art that can be learned and perfected and practiced. Just like voodoo or spirituality is. But spirituality works on natural forces, while magic, especially the entertainment magic, I would say so. Entertainment magic is just someone trying to play God or to play spirit. Try to behave and prove that this is what is happening.
This is entertainment magic on stage.
Yes, stage magic, which we call illusion, fantasy, and magic, not temple magic, which is spirituality. There are two types of magic: temple magic and spirituality. And entertainment magic or stage magic. So stage magic is what I'm talking about. So it is like person is trying to play God or play spirit.
What does that mean?
Acting. When people act,